Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and I want to go over, how to get more views on your channel even when you don't have a lot of subscribers. So in the first part of this video, I'm going to explain why views matter. And then in the second part, I'm going to go over, my tips on just how to get more views on your channel. So first off, the reason that views matter is that's how you're going to get paid on YouTube. You don't get paid off of how many subscribers you have. You don't get paid off of how many likes you get, none of that. You get paid when you get views on your channel. Now, these other things can help out your views, and I'm going to explain that in a moment, but views are essentially how you get paid. Now, how it works is when someone watches one of your videos, you have an advertisement on your video. And if someone views that advertisement, then you get paid, obviously, because your video is being used for ad space. Now, how you get paid is in direct proportion to the person that's watching your video. So they're going to take into account, country of origin, gender, age, all that kind of stuff. They're going to take that into account to determine how much the advertiser will pay for that view. And really the reason this is, depending on what type of advertisement it is, that advertiser obviously has their target demographic, and they're going to pay more to reach their target demographic. They're going to pay less to, reach someone that's not their target demographic. And I mean, that's just advertising 101 essentially. And how this comes into effect is depending on who's watching your content will determine how much you get per view on your channel. If you have a really good demographic, and what I really mean by that is if you have a demographic that's advertiser friendly, that advertisers are trying to reach out to with their ads, you will of course make more money. If you have a demographic that is obviously not advertiser friendly, in the sense that it's not a demographic that advertisers are trying to reach, then you make less money. The best way for me to put this without trying to offend anyone is, let's say that someone's 30 years old and they watch your video and they see an advertisement for a car. Now, let's say that you have another person that's 10 years old that watches your video and sees the same advertisement for a car. The advertiser is going to pay way more money for that 30-year-old to view that advertisement than the 13-year-old, because the chances of the 10-year-old, the chances of that 10-year-old being able to buy a car are significantly less, obviously, than the chances of the 30-year-old being able to buy the car. So, right, they're targeting their audience, and they'll pay you, in conjunction to all that kind of stuff. So why this really matters overall is if you have more views, think of every single time you get a view, it's like a swing. Like you're kind of like this batter, right? And every single time you get a view on your channel, you're swinging. And, sometimes you'll get a home run and sometimes you'll miss completely. And from a YouTube perspective, getting a home run would be getting the exact target demographic for that advertiser, so they pay you all the money for that viewer. Whereas missing would be, someone views your video, they have ad blocker, so then you don't get paid for that view whatsoever. And I mean, I wouldn't say that as a complete waste, because your content's still getting pushed forward because you get another view on it. But obviously, you aren't getting paid for that person to view your content. So in essence, you are not getting paid for your work, just in kind of like a weird perspective. That's the best way to essentially view it. Now, with all that being taken into account, obviously, if you have more swings, then you have more chances to get, obviously high ad rates and low ad rates. And it all evens out at the end of the day. But the one thing I will say is the more views you get, the more money you're going to make. I'm probably going to start showing some of the analytics for my main channel to kind of just kind of show these points to you guys to help you guys better understand it. But as my channel has, increased over time, the more views that my channel gets on a regular basis, I've just obviously in direct proportion, I earn more income. Now, some days I will have, really low ad rates for, maybe I just don't get a good demographic for those advertisers, and I make less money off of more views. That does happen. But in general, as I found, the more views my channel gets, the more money I make, because you have more swings. And even if the ad rates are lower, because you have more swings, you end up just making more money overall. Now, obviously, subscribers and likes can help you get more views. And how this works is if someone subscribes to your channel, then, that person typically will watch more of your content, which will give you more views over time, which obviously helps you earn more money. So even though subscribers don't they do directly pay you, but I hope you guys understand what I mean is you could have 1 million subscribers, and if they aren't watching your channel, you aren't getting paid. So it's not really how many subscribers you have, it's just how many views you get. So if your subscribers view your content, then yes, you're you're ahead, you're winning. And then obviously likes will push your content in the YouTube algorithms to a broader audience, which will help you get more views, which will help you earn more money. So hopefully the first 5 minutes of this video has helped you guys to understand, obviously, the benefit of views and why you guys shouldn't be, really reaching. I mean, you want to try to get as big of an audience as possible. You want to try to get as many followers as possible, but your main goal should be views, because the more views you get, that means you'll get more followers naturally, because on the days that I have the most views, those are typically the days that I gain the most subscribers. So you get more views, which means more followers, which means even more views, which means even more followers, obviously, which at the end of the day means you earn more income. Now let's get into the tips of, how to get more views after I've talked about the benefits of getting more views. Now, the first way to get more views, and I know this is super generalized, but it has to be said, is make sure that your content is just content that can be viewed by a broader audience. Now, this is something that I've kind of understood more recently, and why I've made this second channel instead of posting videos on my main channel is there are certain videos that I make that just don't make sense to a broader audience. People really don't care. I mean, I shouldn't say they don't, but the majority of my viewership that sees my videos does not care about my personal life. So if I make a video about my personal life, it'll get some views by subscribers that are really following me and they really want to know everything that's happening. However, from a just larger audience perspective, most people don't care. So those videos aren't going to get a lot of views. So if you want to get a lot of views, you have to make content that makes sense for a broader audience. And I guess what this would look like from, an example perspective would be on my channel, use my channel as an example. If I make a car review, that is something that anyone can watch pretty much, and people don't really have a reason not to watch it, right? If they are interested in that car, they're going to go watch a car review. Whereas, a video that I made about me quitting my job, that is pretty much the audience just shrinks down. You go from the people that are in the market for cars, which is a lot, to the people that are, in the market for a car that happen to find the Ben Hardy channel, that are subscribed to Ben Hardy, and then the people that are subscribed to Ben Hardy that care enough about what I do that they'd watch a video about what's happening in my life, right? So that target audience just shrunk drastically. And so if you make content, you have to always be mindful of, the size of audience that you have for that content. And I mean, even the content I do is limited by an audience. How many people actually care about automotive content? And you guys can see that there is a limited audience on that. The biggest automotive channels have about 4 million subscribers. Whereas if I was a video game channel, PewDiePie has over 100 million subscribers. So the target audience for video game channels is so much more massive. So obviously there's, more potential with that particular type of, video making essentially. If you did video games, you go from having a target audience of, let's just say 100 million people, because PewDiePie's, I think he's the largest video game channel. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. But you've got 100 million people to, now with the automotive community, you've got 4 million people roughly that are subscribed to most automotive channels. And it's probably a little bit more than that, but I'm just saying based off the biggest channels. So definitely take that into account with the type of content you make. And understand though that there's benefits to both. Now, the benefit to, automotive content, even though the target audience is smaller, it's easier to get noticed if the target audience is smaller, because there's going to be naturally less creators because there's less of an audience. So then it can be easier to basically get noticed. Whereas, video game channels, I mean, there are so many video game channels. So your chances of getting noticed are so much smaller. So you definitely have to take that into account, if you're going to be doing a channel essentially based on video games. And these people out here are being absolutely crazy. I don't know if they know that I'm in my truck, but yeah, they're being weird. Anyways, the next thing to do is make content on a regular basis. That is the best way to get views, is if you make content on a very regular basis. I'm getting so distracted right now. They're just yelling, screaming. This video is going to be horrible at this point. Anyways, if you make content on a regular basis, then you're obviously going to get pushed by YouTube's algorithms more. I post at least one video, sometimes 2 videos a day on my main channel, which then obviously pushes me to a broader audience on a regular basis, which more videos means my subscribers as well. You know, typically most of them will at least watch the videos that I post, the review videos. So I'm just being viewed more often because I'm posting content on a daily basis. Think of it as you're releasing a product, right? Your videos really are a product. And let's say that you release this product once a week. So you will have, you know, people obviously look at your product once a week. Now think if you release that product every single day. Now you have people looking at your product every single day instead of just once a week. So even if you haven't increased your audience necessarily, you've increased your amount of views by the volume of product that you're releasing. So if you want to get more views, release more content. But definitely take this with a grain of salt, because it's something that I've obviously learned in my journey, that it has to be quality content that people want to watch. And again, this is something that I found on my main channel. I started posting videos just to make sure that I had a video posted, and it wasn't the content that my viewers wanted to watch. So it really didn't help my views. It actually hurt things to an extent, and I actually lost some subscribers because of it. Overall, obviously my channel was in the positive, but I could have maybe kept those subscribers if I had, you know, been more consistent with the content and had made content that they wanted to watch, rather than worrying about trying to get so many videos up at a certain time. Now, with these 2 things taken into consideration, those, I know that they're generalized, but those are really the biggest things that are going to help you to get more views, even if you don't have a big following. Because you guys can see on my channel all the time, I have videos that just blow up out of proportion, you know, especially compared to how many subscribers that I have. Right now, as I'm filming this video, I posted a video, not yesterday, but the day before yesterday, so 2 days ago, on the new 2020 Ford Tremor. Now, as of me making this video, it already has, I think, 25,000 views on it. As of me making this video, probably by the time I post this video tomorrow, it'll have well over, you know, 30,000 plus views, which obviously is more subscribers than what my channel has. So that video has gotten to a broader audience than my subscriber base. And what that tells me is that's a subject that everyone is interested in. So if you can really find those subjects that everyone's interested in, that's going to help you get more views, and that obviously can help you earn a lot of income even if you don't have a lot of subscribers. And I can, you know, do a video where I show you guys on Social Blade different automotive YouTubers and how many views they get per month in conjunction with how many subscribers that they have. And a lot of you will be surprised by how many views I get a month compared to a lot of other, you know, automotive YouTubers, when I don't have anywhere near the following that they have. And it's just because I find these little things, and, you know, I try to capitalize them as much as I possibly can, obviously to increase revenue on my channel and increase my following, to just grow as much as I possibly can. But as always, if you guys have any questions, just let me know in the comment section down below. If you happen to be stopping for the first time, please subscribe. I will see all of you in that next video.